Hi everyone, my name's Ben Lawry. This is the Worship Leader Vlog. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch. It's a pleasure to have you with me today. Real quick, before we get started, I just want to introduce myself and tell you a little bit about my heart for this vlog. I currently serve as a worship leader at Calvary, Albuquerque. I spend most of my time at our Nob Hill campus, and then I also serve as the keyboards discipline leader for Battle Drums Music. What I'd like to do with this vlog is open up the floor to comments and sharing experiences and really just honing our talents for the Lord and becoming better worship leaders. That's what this whole vlog is all about. So today I'd like to talk about what I call the 90-90 rule of worship leading. 90% of your time as a worship leader is going to be spent working on music. It's going to be spent practicing MP3s or writing charts or getting good with a click track, that kind of thing. So even though you're spending 90% of your time on that, and that's great, 90% of what makes someone a great worship leader has nothing to do with those hard skills. So I want to talk a little bit about the soft skills. What can you do to become a better worship leader outside of the music? Specifically, I want to talk about three things. I want to talk about how to know your congregation. I want to talk about how to instill confidence into your band members. And I want to talk about being vulnerable. All right, so first point, know your congregation. How do you know your congregation? Well, it's really important that whether you're serving 10 or 10,000 people, that you can relate to their circumstances and their struggles and you know how to pray for them and that kind of thing. That can be kind of a daunting challenge when you're first getting into worship leading. You may not have any idea how to do that. You may feel really closed off. You may get nervous. And so one way to sort of fix this problem that I've found is to spend 20 or 30 minutes with your band before rehearsal starts just praying. Talk about prayer requests. Talk about the things that they went through that week. Talk about what God's doing in their lives. And then sort of just take mental note of key points. All right? Because chances are that if your bandmates are going through something, a percentage of your congregation is also experiencing the exact same thing. So take note of what your band's going through, and then during the worship set, speak to those situations. You don't have to mention names, you don't have to do any of that, but speak to the joy or the suffering or whatever your band is going through as you're doing your worship set. And there's going to be a significant portion of the people in your congregation that can relate to that. Immediately you have this connection, and they can start to see your heart and how the Lord's working through that. Okay? So that's rule number one. Know your congregation. Take some time to figure out how to do that. Figure out who they are. Rule number two, instill confidence in your band members, okay? So I'm going to take you through this little story. Let's say you're going to rehearsal. You've just got through sound check. Everybody's all set up, ready to go. You've been rehearsing at home all week long. You know your stuff, okay? And you get to the first chorus of that first song in the set, and the bass player hits a sour note, okay? And your first instinct is going to be, shut everything down, stop. We got to fix this right now. Okay, so you do that, and then you start the song over, and then you get to the bridge, and then maybe the keyboardist messes something up, and now you got to stop the whole thing, or at least that's your first inclination. I would recommend let your band get through the whole song. Let them get end to end through the whole song before you go back to make any corrections. Why would you want to do this? Okay, the whole goal is to eliminate distractions, right? Well, if you let it go from end to end, you're going to give them a chance to self-correct. If they know how to fix the problem without you telling them to, and you don't tell them to, that's actually going to instill confidence in them. If you're constantly stopping rehearsal over small mistakes that they probably could have fixed on their own, you are now turning the process of eliminating distractions into a distraction. So instill confidence in your bandmates. Show them that you trust them. Ask for feedback as you're going through these songs, and it's going to do wonders for that gel factor of your band. So again, work to instill confidence in your band members. Okay, which brings me to my final point, and that's being vulnerable. Okay, so we want to be vulnerable. Why do we want to be vulnerable? And why is this important? Well, as a worship leader, you are responsible for carrying the service from that first song until the pastor comes up and starts giving his message, or something similar, depending on your specific format. It's a lot of responsibility. And it can be really easy to get wrapped up in that and to try to maintain the appearance of perfection. You want to get through the set without any mistakes. You don't want to be a distraction. But in doing so, you can take your head out of the picture. You can take your heart out of the picture. And So I would recommend be vulnerable with your bandmates. If you're having a hard time getting through a bridge or you're not really sure what the arrangement should be, ask for feedback. Involve them in that process. They're there to help you just as you're there to help them. Okay, and by being vulnerable, you're going to eliminate all kinds of pride from your set. Your heart's going to be in the right place, and it's going to be great. So again, be vulnerable. Those are the three things that I tend to try to incorporate into every service. Knowing your congregation, instilling confidence into your band members, and being vulnerable. All right? So that's all I got time for today. Thank you so much for watching. It's been a pleasure. If you've liked what you've heard, remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Worship Leader Vlog. If you're interested in any of my side projects or my latest worship music that I'm putting out on CD, check out benlowrymusic.com or follow me on Facebook or Twitter. If there's something you want to talk about, if you want to suggest a topic for discussion, or if you have a question or just something you'd like to say, feel free to do so in the comments below. Once again, it's been a pleasure. I hope you guys have a great week. We'll see you next time.